So let me guess, you keep opening YouTube when you're supposed to study, right? Or maybe you've been scrolling for the past hour and have no idea how you ended up here. You tell yourself you'll stop, but you don't. That was me every single day until I decided to do something drastic. I quit dopamine for 7 days. What happened shocked me. At some point, I realized that I wasn't even enjoying these things anymore. I'd watch a funny video, laugh once, then scroll again. I'd open Instagram and forget why I even opened it. Everything felt flat, and worst of all, I kept calling myself lazy. But deep down, it wasn't laziness, it was addiction. I basically woke up at 7 in the morning, and the first thing I wanted to do was, of course, take my phone, scroll some reels, check some messages. But unfortunately, that day, I could not. I became quite restless. I became fresh, took out my tripod, my camera, and a book, and I went outside in the park. I just wanted to record myself reading in the park in the nature. But then I realized that this camera, this mobile phone recording myself is not letting me be myself. I was just pretending to read. I didn't like that. So I decided not to record myself, and my journey has not been recorded. Just reading in the nature, staying alone, sitting on the bench alone, listening to the birds singing, feeling the cool breeze, feeling the trees, feeling the grass. I swear to God, no mobile phone in the world can give it that kind of experience. I was reading a book called Joy by Oswald, and there we talked about the ultimate happiness, or that was basically about just being yourself, dropping all the bondages and just being yourself. And it was a very peaceful experience. I was observing the nature, I was observing myself, I was just being. There was no past for me, there was no future for me, there was only present. And even thinking about that experience now is making me so joyful. I talked to some real people, and even that experience was very good. First day of mine pretty much was like that. I walked for some time. I just stayed in the nature and read and talked to some real people. No junk food, no social media, no instant gratification. Now we come to the second day, and it was quite the same as the previous day. I just loved being in the nature. It was so pleasuring that I could not resist not going there. It was some type of higher pleasure that you could not get from mobile phones. I went there, I read. I turned the pages, I read. And that day I went for a walk with one of my cousins, and it started raining. We were just walking without any destination, just walking, and it started to rain. And we thought we should enjoy this rain, we should play in this rain. I had a moment of realization that I had not enjoyed the rain for so long. The rain felt like a shower of love from nature. Leaving these things makes you more connected with nature. I found silence. That is the thing that most of all simply miss, which I think we need in our lives. Day 2 was nature, book, and the rain. We come to day 3, and I decided to do something new. I went to a bookstore, bought 2 books, and went to a lake. I sat beside the lake. I was just enjoying the view of the lake, and I was also reading. There was a guy in front of me who was very silent. He did not disturb me, he did not ask where I came from. He was also enjoying the nature, I was also enjoying the nature. We did not talk that much, but I felt like we were communicating spiritually. I felt a deep connection even though I was not talking to him. It felt like we were communicating. There I saw in the lake that a snake was actually eating a fish. It was quite fascinating to watch. I thought I'd say it with you. And then I thought I should probably become a guide for one of the foreigners. So I was just walking and I saw a foreigner there. I simply asked, "Where are you from?" He said that he was from Taiwan. And we did some small talk, and I was just telling him that I'm here walking and helping people with no incentive for profit, he said, and that was quite nice of me and that was quite kind of me. Again, new experience, out of my comfort zone. I was feeling bored, but the boredom was good for me. I started enjoying the silence. I started being with myself. Day 5 and I decided to do something new again. I went to do some archery. I felt like a main character in a movie while doing it. I was continuously hitting bullseye, not bullseye but close to bullseye, and it was a new experience for me. I enjoyed that very much. And one thing I realized is that when you give up cheap dopamine, you have so much time, and with that time you can do so many different things. I went swimming, I talked to some people. I was really bored, but no cheating. I wasn't getting any instant dopamine hits. The swimming was a very wonderful experience. I hadn't swam for a long time, and the archery was obviously a new thing for me. And we're just in this trap of doom scrolling. Day 6, I cheated. Technically, I lost on the 6th day of mine because my brother was actually eating pizza beside me. I simply couldn't resist the temptation. The pizza was looking at me and saying, "Hey, come here, eat me, consume me." And I couldn't resist, so I ate 2 slices of pizza. Day 7, I felt like giving up because I had eaten junk food. On the 6th day, I used my phone. But it was not for scrolling reels or watching pointless videos or chatting unnecessarily. I was using my phone to watch some philosophical videos. One person I listened to is J. Krishnamurti. And I swear to God, listening to that man hurts your brain. It was not cheating, I guess, because I was not deriving instant pleasure from that experience. I don't know, guys, you decide. But let me tell you how I felt and what I learned from my experience. I've journaled everything, almost everything, and I have told you important things and the not so important things I have not told you. Learning number 1 is the peace that you get while enjoying in the nature. Enjoying the birds, enjoying the trees, enjoying the wind, enjoying the grass, enjoying the silence, enjoying being with yourself. And that kind of pleasure you definitely cannot derive from your daily pleasure activities. That's a different kind of pleasure where you just are. You just are with yourself. And you feel like the whole universe is within yourself. You feel an immense love and you feel like sharing the love to everybody else. All the hate, all the envy disappears. You just are. You are peaceful. You are love. That's the kind of experience. This might sound quite metaphysical or made of shit, but I'm not lying to you guys. Let me save you another experience which I had after 2 days of finishing my challenge. I was reading a book, a collection of poems by Rumi, an Eastern mystic, ancient mystic, and while reading a thought suddenly struck. To describe it, I wrote a poem myself, and while writing that poem, it felt like nature herself was expressing herself through my body. It didn't feel like I was writing the poem. The words came spontaneously It did not involve much thinking. I was fully aware. I was not aware about the environment around me. I was just there with my diary, with my pen, with my hands, I guess. Leaving these things allows you to experience some higher pleasures. And when you don't have the idea of higher pleasures, you never want to leave. You always want to scroll, you always want to involve yourself in these kind of activities. And third thing is delayed gratification, reading books, just being there, being bored, and simple things start giving you pleasure, but that's delayed. When I was bored, simply watching the trees, simply watching the leaves, simply watching the branches move gave me pleasure, but that was a good pleasure. Fourth learning is that it helps you get out of your comfort zone, like approaching any stranger, talking to random people, trying out new things, walking alone, traveling alone, and many more things. You get more time, and just to kill your boredom, you are forced to try new things, kind of. That's what I went through, and you become more adventurous, more risk-taking. I read 2 books and 100 pages of another book in the 7 days. And reading books gives so much knowledge in such a short period of time. That's really great. I realized how cheap social media and junk food are. Yes, I can derive pleasure from them, but it's momentary. It gives you pleasure and it fades away instantly. It just makes you a slave. These things are just making us their slaves. Junk food, fake relationships, social media, games. These things are just making us their slaves. They are keeping us in bondages. They are not letting us be free. They are not letting us be ourselves. Listen, I'm not perfect now. I still use YouTube. I still get distracted. But now I notice it. I can't stop before it takes over, and I'm begging you. Just try it. Try it for 1 week. Try 1 day. Lock your phone, go for a walk, and I request you guys to feel bored, because boredom is where real life starts. If you've made it this far, maybe it's time. Try it, a mini detox, just 24 hours. If you're in, comment I'm in. And if this video makes you feel something, don't keep it to yourself. Someone else is stuck in the same cycle. Send this to them. Let's get free together.